Hello, everyone. Welcome to Legal Recaps. Imagine being born into a world where your very sense of identity stands at a crossroads, uncertain and undefined. Jennifer Cagandahan, a person of extraordinary resilience, faced this dilemma. Here, we have the story of a courageous journey to assert one's identity against all odds and how the courts weighed compassion, law, and the uniqueness of human nature. Stay tuned as we uncover this groundbreaking case. Jennifer Cagandahan was born on January 13, 1981, and was registered as a female in her birth certificate. But while growing up, she developed secondary male characteristics and was diagnosed to have congenital adrenal hyperplasia, which is a condition where persons afflicted possess both male and female characteristics. During her early childhood years, she underwent an ultrasound where it was discovered that she had small ovaries. By the time she reached 13, tests revealed that her ovarian structures had minimized, and with no breast or menstrual development. Thus, as she grew older, for all interests and appearances, as well as in mind and emotion, she has become a male person. This made her decide to go to court and petition her name to be changed from Jennifer to Jeff, and her sex from female to male. To prove her claim, she presented the testimony of Dr. Michael Sayanzan, who certified that indeed Jennifer's condition is known as a congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Dr. Sayanzan further testified that Jennifer's condition is very rare, and that although she is genetically a female, her body secretes male hormones, which led to her female organs not developing normally. The regional trial court granted Jennifer's petition. However, the Office of the Solicitor General, or the OSG, acting on behalf of the government, sought the reversal of the ruling of the RTC, arguing that it was wrong for it to rule in Jennifer's favor on the ground of her rare medical condition and other procedural defects which was not complied with in accordance with Rule 103, change of name, and Rule 108, cancellation or correction of entries in the Civil Registry of the Rules of Court. When the case went to the Supreme Court, the main issue to be resolved was whether or not the RTC erred in granting Jennifer's petition on the ground of her rare medical condition. The Supreme Court clarified first that the determination of a person's sex appearing in his or her birth certificate is a legal issue, and it must look to the relevant laws such as Article 412 of the Civil Code, which provides that no entry in a civil register shall be changed or corrected without a judicial order. This provision, however, was amended by Republic Act 9048, insofar as typographical errors are involved. The correction or change of such matters can now be made through administrative proceedings and without the need for a judicial order. In effect, RA 9048 removed from the ambit of Rule 108 of the Rules of Court the correction of such errors. Congenital adrenal hyperplasia is one of many conditions that involve intersex anatomy. During the 20th century, medicine adopted the term intersexuality to apply to human beings who cannot be classified as either male or female. More commonly, an intersex individual is considered as suffering from a disorder, which is almost always recommended to be treated, whether by surgery or by taking lifetime medication in order to mold the individual as neatly as possible into the category of either male or female. In deciding this case, the court considered the compassionate calls for recognition of the various degrees of intersex as variations which should not be subject to outright denial. The current state of Philippine statutes apparently compels that a person be classified either as a male or as a female, but this court is not controlled by mere appearances when nature itself fundamentally negates such rigid classification. Jennifer was born with a unique biological makeup, possessing female chromosomes but naturally producing high levels of male hormones. This led to ambiguous genitalia and physical traits resembling a male. Ultimately, the court is of the view that where the person is biologically or naturally intersex, the determining factor in their gender classification would be what the individual, having reached the age of majority, with good reason thinks of his or her sex. The court found no fault in Jennifer's decision to forego treatment to either conform to or remain identified as female. Neither did the court force her to undergo treatment and to take medication in order to fit the mold of a female. Nature has instead taken its due course in her development to reveal more fully the male characteristics. In the absence of evidence to show that classifying Jennifer as a male will harm other members of society who are equally entitled to protection under the law, the court affirmed as valid and justified Jennifer's position and personal judgment of being a male. In so ruling, the Supreme Court did no more than give respect to the diversity of nature and how an individual deals with what nature has handed out. In other words, the court respected Jennifer's congenital condition and mature decision to be a male. Life is already difficult for the ordinary person. Faced with an extraordinary reality, the court can only honor the courage it takes to navigate such uncharted waters. And in light of the unique circumstances of this case, it becomes both a duty and a privilege to offer understanding and support, making the journey a little less burdensome. In a decision that stands as a beacon of understanding and humanity, the Supreme Court affirmed Jennifer's right to live as Jeff, a recognition of individuality and respect for nature's diversity. This case reminds us all that the law, at its best, is a force for dignity and acceptance. A triumph not just for Jeff, but for anyone who dares to stand up and assert their truth. Thank you for joining us on another legal journey. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and don't forget to subscribe for more legal recaps.